Let's go. Let us go. Hey everybody, this is MrHardcoreMode where nothing's easy. Welcome back to more Rogue Trader in the 40k universe. We are gonna dive right into more things going on here. I think we had a long ass stream yesterday that literally took 9 hours for one mission. Whew. I think it's because we got our ass whooped a lot. I don't think there was any puzzles yesterday, but basically what has happened is we needed to find more crew members, and we needed to find a new tech priest or an engineer prime for our ship. Basically, long story short, we did find a new crewmates, and we did find a new tech priest. His name is Pascal, and yeah, we found what we needed, and we actually have more questions than answers with what's going on out in the Cronus Expanse. I could tell you right now, from me playing this game after like 9 hours of playing it last night, hard is hard. And it's only gonna get harder if you know, I don't start doing something, a bit of training with my characters, and getting stronger and stronger and beefing up and understanding what they need and what they can do. Hey, how you doing, Pots? But we're gonna continue this game and see what else the Cronus Expanse has to offer, and appreciate you guys being here. Much love. Of course, as always, I'm going to voice act each and every one of these characters when they are not voice acted. So how far are you into the game? Not much, to be honest. Not much. I wish I could tell you that I'm far into the game. No, I think it's because the game is very, very difficult, and it's gonna take me some time to actually live and survive. How many classes are there? I think they vary. I can't really tell you off the bat, but I can show you. See, there's an archetype, there's officer, there's warrior, there's operative, and there's like 4 others, but they have their different classes with the archetype, and then there's origin talents, and then there's also more archetypes as you level. So it's more of like, I don't know if you guys ever played a game that has multiple classes, and as you level up, you get to branch out into one class or another class. It's something like that. I don't know where I'm going to branch off with my character. My character is desperately in need of damage and actually doing something effective in that way. I know he can buff, but there is a big problem with my character in that regard. I need to fix that, and that's on me. But the other characters, they do well. I think it's because we have a whole bunch of debuffs that are right up here is the reason why we're kind of failing a lot. I do enjoy this game, and I do enjoy its universe. There are some bits and pieces that I wish could be touched on, like the fact that I don't feel like I'm exploring enough into this game, but I haven't gotten that far into the game yet, so I can't really tell you just yet how deep that goes. I can tell you off the cuff, it is really hard to understand, even though I know pretty much a baseline of what 40k has to offer. But a lot of the words and me trying to voice act them, it can get kind of jumbled together, but I try to take it piece by piece and be like, okay, clearly nobody's a good guy in the 40k, obviously. And this faction is this faction, this is needed for this. Your focus on this mission is this. That's what I'm trying to do with my thing, because a lot of the terminology in the 40k universe kind of puts my head into a spin, and I'm just like, what do we need? What for what? Luckily the game gives me, I will probably get it this week. I know you have a big love for the 40k universe, and yeah, so I hope you enjoy. So it's close to Divinity 2. Yes, it's close to Divinity 2. Now, however, there is a buffer. There are debuffers. You won't become a Space Marine, obviously. You won't become a Sister of Battle, but you can try though. I feel like the Sister of Battle, I don't know how they can make the Sisters of Battle be more Sisters of Battle, but if I remember correctly, when it comes to the lore with the Sisters of Battle, their big focus is that they're extremely loyal and they're extremely powerful. They have extreme willpower. So to be influenced by the chaos is very, very difficult for a Sister of Battle. It can happen, and it has happened, but their will power is very, very high. I'm not a Space Marine. Ban this channel. Yeah, I made mods, maybe mods, but unfortunately, it's not the case for this game. You're a rogue trader, and your responsibility is you getting is basically spreading trade amongst the Coronis Expanse for the Imperium. But it's a Warhammer and a CRPG, so it fits well perfectly. You're more of a fan of the fantasy Warhammer? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were a fan of 40k. Well, probably you are, but you're more into the fantasy one. I get that. Like the Sigmar kind of world. I get that. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, here we go. And yeah, let's go. I don't want to ace any more people's time. Let's go. We found our first trader here. We're gonna go talk to him right now. I'm not gonna make a conversation with this guy. He's basically a trader. That's all he is. Permission to transfer information granted. What do you wish to tell me? The potential of interest, the current leadership. What is the Cognizance fleet doing in the Rykard system? That doesn't matter. He doesn't know anything about that. Permission to transfer information granted. What do you wish to tell me? Haphazard and careless decisions on the part of the Rykard Minoris governor have led to unacceptable consequences. Communication. If I'm not loud enough, let me know when it comes to voice acting. I'm not going to voice act this, but I want to make sure my voice is heard. Any fire builds so far? There is a flamer build. They are there. I've heard that the flamer builds are kind of difficult long range, but short range, they are very easy. I observed that the world's authorities lack diligence in the performance of their duties. The statement is true. And what will I get in return for my help? Awareness of the fact that the rogue trader did not stand aside and has influenced the future of the hollow electrodynamic canoe, including the possible rescue of the most holy electro priest. Unit Quartz Cram can promise no more. The governor is carrying out his immediate duties. I do not intend to interfere. The gunner. Haphazard and careless decisions on the part of the Rykard Minoris governor have led to an unacceptable consequence. Communication with the Adeptus Mechanicus Sanctum have been lost. Troops must be sent to the Hollow Electrodynamics Cenobium without delay. Restoring one. I will discuss it with the governor. The court is grateful. The rogue trader is highly likely to successfully influence the future actions of the local authorities. Okay. Found a Fextra already has a rip-off wiki. Yeah, they do. Tech Priest Quartz Crane claims you have not been doing enough to ensure the safety of the Adeptus Mechanicus Monastery. Of course he does. That tech priest is very insistent. I ordered a squad to be dispatched from the Holy Cenobium of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They haven't been heard from yet. I'm afraid. Yeah, Flamer is a gun. But there's also Psyker abilities that use flames. It's all I can do under the present circumstances. I can see that it is not in your power to convince you. Let us change the subject. Okay. Alright, basically what I did was I told the governor of this planet everything that there is that I did on this planet.
Your duty.
But we are done. We are leaving this planet immediately. We are done. We are off. Everybody's tired. We want to go back to the void ship. Let's peace out. Let's get the hell out of here. We have gone through too much. Appreciate everybody coming here. I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope everybody's well rested. It has been a long day for all of us. Any voice acting at all so far? I have been voice acting. Basically what I'm doing is I'm voice acting everything for Owlcat Games' characters, because there's one big concern with Owlcat Games, and it's not a bad thing, it's just a concern. What they do is they voice act some lines and not all the lines. Like, one important thing will happen and a lot of people will be voice acted in that instant, and then out of nowhere during that important conversation they would cut off the voice acting. And so for a person who is watching my channel, they want to be engaged in the story. You know, as much as people enjoy the music, me talking, and the story, I want them to hear the story. So I'm going to do it the best I can. I enjoy voice acting, and I want to do it more later as a career, but I'm just practicing. So some of the main storyline and almost nothing on companions, like Pathfinder. Yes, exactly. But even more so sometimes. I did a voice for anybody that was basically a machine. No, I can't do it with a bottle. Do it with a cup? How does this sound?
Testing.
Ah, yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm gonna try this. Because this is for anybody that's like a tech or a person that is half man, half machine. And this one's a woman, so I'm gonna go with Voxmaster Vidus.
Permission to purport, Lord Captain. Over the past few days, I received several messages from different decks complaining about anomalous behaviors in the ship's cognitators and servitors.
Sounds like an evil scientist? Perfect. Perfect, that's what I wanted.
The machine spirits are restless and rebellious, and no tech litany or ritual of pacification can rid them of this obstinacy.
I'm not. No, I said the right word.
The tech priests can deal with the vessel's systems, but the servitors, they make errors in their task, disobey orders, change the assigned rituals, or sometimes downright freeze as in a trance.
Lord Captain, occurrences such as these are caused by errors in the cogitator, calculations, or some other sensible explanation. I beseech you, not to take after those who whisper about the ship being cursed or possessed. Oh, don't start, old man. All these peculiar happenings have long since turned into local legends. A door slams shut, a lumen starts flickering. Folk have grown used to all that, so our resident ghost has decided to up the ante. I'm telling you, things are only going to get worse from here.
The Technobats inspected the servitors and concluded that pose no danger. According to the servants of the Omnissiah, such behavior is caused either by the echoes of minds not completely eliminated or by manifestations of the machine spirits' will. Nevertheless, the faulty servitors make the crew's task considerably more difficult, and High Factorum Janus Danrock would like to discuss how he could deal with the defective property. He is awaiting your audience on the bridge.
Very well. I'll talk to him right now. The cup works. The cup works! The cup works. I'd used the bottle yesterday and it didn't sound right. Alright. My boy Janris, he over here. Also, another thing that there's a lot of things that Owlcat Games needs to work on better. One being that they're very good at making novels with their story, but when it comes to, like, if they ever have a chance to up their graphics in any sort of way, I hope that they do something more, if they do another game. Because right now, Owlcat Games with their Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, this game, they almost look the same, but Rogue Trader obviously looks better. I'm hoping later on down the path, they accumulate not only more funding, but they have to actually also up the ante with how they show their game. Almost like Baldur's Gate, but I wouldn't expect that to happen. That's their thing. Whatever they want to do with their medium of art is their decision. But when it comes to them wanting to opening the doors to more people to CRPGs, a good way to do it is what Larian Studios did, where they actually showed the character, their emotions, the way they move, the way that their personality is. Let's just state a fact. Owlcat Games is romances, they suck. I mean, they're written well, but they're kind of boring. I'm gonna be honest. And sometimes, especially today, on this game, I romanced Cassia, and I didn't even know I romanced her. I flirted her for 2.5 seconds, and the game said, "You're in a romance." And I was like, last time I checked, flirting or hitting on someone is not a jump to you know, to the next level. It takes some work, you know what I mean? The game was like, "You're in a romance," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" All I said was she was beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright. I need to speak to Janice, right? Ravor, do you know anything about a ship named the Fiery Reckoning? I've heard the name, that much is sure, but I can't recall the details. I wonder if it was part of that operation that the late Mort was put in charge of. If it was, then there's nothing I can tell you, Lord Captain. The whole thing was kept under wraps. Your best chance would be to task the High Factorum. Maybe some of the treasury records have mentions of this Fiery Reckoning. Okay. Lord Captain is such a badass term. Lord Captain. Chronix Expanse. This is who I need to talk to. The High Factorum Danrock greets you with a cool smile and the merest hint of a bow. Pleased to meet you, Lord Captain. How may I be of assistance? Vidus informed me about a problem with the servitors. What happened? You see, your lordship, the ship's servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate protocols, interrupt their task, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically with no meaning or purpose. He nervously pulls on his luxurious coat, as if they were uncomfortably tight. Had it been a rude technical fault, I would have decided the fate of these servitors myself, but I deemed it necessary to notify you. I do not wish to hide such irregularities from the Lord Captain. If you wish to observe the servitors' unusual behavior before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments pending your decision. Units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments pending your decision. Pascal Humaman expressed the desire to be present during the inspection. Should it be carried out, I suppose the expertise of the esteemed Magos may come in handy. I wish to take a look at these servitors before deciding their fate. As you wish, your lordship. Would you like to Engineer Prime to accompany you? Yes, Pascal shall come with me. As your lordship commands. When his lordship arrived at the scene, he found servitors in the same position that they assumed after they had been coiled into the bay, all standing in a long spiraling line and facing the center of their strange formation. The moment his lordship crossed the threshold of the bay gate, their bodies jerked into motion, all as one, as if obeying a command. The servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units each reached for their weapons. But then the servitors went still just as abruptly, staring at his lordship with vacant eyes. All presently held their breath. Disturbed by his sight, we waited for the Lord Captain to speak. His Lord Captain, MrHardcoreMode von Valancius, looks at... Pascal, Engineer Prime, study the servitors for me. The Engineer Prime slowly wades into the motionless ranks of the servitors, peering into the faces and checking the readings. There was no haste in Pascal's actions. With mesmerizing diligence, he inspected every single unit in his path, and binary prayers were his companions in this investigation. The examination confirmed the Technomac's initial hypnosis hypothesis. The servitors' souls, or rather the souls of the people they once were, had awakened, not fully conscious of their past and present. These half-machines could nonetheless feel primitive emotions and sensations such as fear and pain. This desirable consequence of shuttling performed lobotomy is most rarely observed, and yet, for some unknown reason, it had occurred in every single one of the servitors gathered in the bay. All presently held their breath. Disturbed by their sight, we waited for the Lord Captain to speak. Report on the defective units. The Technomat's long-winded and detailed report could have been summarized in a single key point. Despite the servitors' abnormal behavior, they were still quite capable of carrying out tasks, and therefore the circumstances did not call for their termination. Okay, they're still working good. Let me take several steps forward. Immediately, the servitors, each and every one of them, stepped toward the Lord Captain in perfect unison. They mimicked his movements with frightening precision. The rogue trader halted in place, and after a moment thought, waved his hand, and the servitors just as synchronizedly repeated that gesture as well. When the Lord Captain turned quizzically to the Technomats, so did the servitors, as if mocking him. Whatever the Lord Captain did, be it an incline of the head, a wave of the hand, or a step to the side, the defective units repeated it without a moment's delay or hesitation, like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer. We observed the mime unfold in distressed bafflement for nearly a minute, until the servitors finally came to a stop. Not sensing any threat from them, the rogue trader approached with confidence. Examine the servitors. As High Factorum, It was I who had prompted that entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain. As we stepped closer, we noticed a fascinating irregularity. The servitor's pupils, normally still, were shaking wildly. Their bulging veins were pulsating under their copper collars, inscribed with their past offenses. It was as if those mindless half-machines were locked in a perpetual state of extreme tension. Visibly a shaken technomat behind us proposed that the human souls had awakened within the servitors' bodies after a long slumber deep within their lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had attained awareness, feeling, and understanding. After a pause, the technomat added that the servitors used a function properly and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behavior. His gaze still trained on the motionless but animate half machines and half people. The Lord Captain stepped away from the servitors. Take one of the servitors and disassemble them, and check the components and investigate. A group of technomats hurried to act upon the Lord Captain's command. The servitor's mechanical parts separated with clicks, snaps, and hisses. The sutures between its wrinkled, pale flesh and its augments were laid disgustingly bare. We watched the technomats do their work and could see every centimeter of the servitor's stiff muscles and abounding with valves and cavities pierced by countless cords and tubes. The disassembly and analysis complete, the technomats concurred the unit was in working order. Nothing in the dissected body that lay before us could prove any insight into the reason behind the defects. I should make a note of one more thing. At that moment, all of us present discovered that not just one of the eyes, but the hands and heads of some of the servitors were not shaking too. Wait, what? The heads of some of the servitors were now shaking too. It was as if the mechanized servants were overcome with some primordial terror. All right, let me announce my decision. His lordship looked at me with unwavering resolve. Well, I'm gonna have to go with Dogmatic, of course. Dispose of the servitors so their human souls may be released? Oh, hold up. To send the servitors back to toil as they had toiled before, for they had not yet paid their dues for the crimes of their past lives, and thus did not deserve clemency. We're gonna go Dogmatic. On the Lord Captain's orders, the servitors were returned to the same decks where they were worked before. The crew was initially unnerved by their presence, but adapted to their quirks soon enough, especially since following the incident in question, there was a noticeable reduction in servitors' strange behavior. Good. Get back to work. Shake as you must. Run around in circles if you must, but you will obey. In Emperor's name. Where am I gonna go? I think we should go back to the screen. There's nothing else. You will go back to work. You will fulfill your duty. Find Archimagos Arma and Monastery of Athos. Okay, so we got other places to go in this area. A bunker. This is a mission that we need to go to later, but there's a bunker here. Let's check it out. So we're all level 10 right now. Let's check out this bunker real quick. Root beer? I got orange soda, but I do like me a root beer. Especially on ice cream. Oh, the bunker takes me here. Okay, gotcha. Return to the ship. You never know. You never know. Yeah, before we leave the planet. What is this? Starport bunker. Points of interest detected. Alright. We have all we needed.
That is a lot of energy. Plasma.
Maximum hit chance is always 95%. All hit chances above 95 is converted to critical hit chance. That I did not know. We'll cover the landing area, your lordship. Glory to the Von Valancius dynasty. Good.
The divine watches over us.
Okay, fuel. Yo, I love this music. If I need to, how's the music so far? As a matter of fact, can you hear the music right now?
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
How's the sound? Is it loud enough?
The duty prevails.
Hold on, by the way. Bring this up. If it's not, let me know.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Awareness.
Ah, damn it.
We'll have some equipped no worse than the soldiers. Okay, good. Lord Imperium.
The burden of failure.
Okay, we failed those, but it is what it is. I'm not going to do this whole off and on sort of thing. Athletics. However, I'm going to do it for this one.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Nice. Good. Loot, 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 loot. Everybody loves loot. Everybody loves loot. Everybody loves loot. Everybody loves loot. Where did the medikit thing go? There we go. Alright, everybody should have a grenade. No excuses. You have 2 grenades. You need 2 grenades. You have 3. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, moving on.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Oh, those are... It's electric! It's an old song. You wouldn't know. I'm glad I get to see this, though. So they show points of interest, and they're like, okay, obviously you cannot see upwards, so here, we're going to show you what this building looks like.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Which is one thing that I wish Owlcat Games could study on more, is that they could show the sky, or let us zoom into our characters a little bit more. Let us see more of the world, because we tell you right now, sometimes I don't even know if there's a sun in Owlcat Games, like in any of their games. I'm just like, is there a sun?
The divine watches over us.
Sometimes I'm just like, is it a sunny day? I can't tell if it's a sunny day. Binaric him awakens the gate's latching mechanism.
Know your duty.
Here we go. Let's go. by the way, with this game, you cannot buff your characters before combat. You can only buff them during combat. That is another thing. Also, you can't really sneak too much on characters, which sucks. I think that's stupid, that I can't sneak. You have to walk up to the battle and then start it. Was annoying to do it anyway? Yeah, that's true. But I think it's really cool to have as an option. I kind of like that.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Baldur's Gate 3 did a really good thing where you kind of went half and half with the whole buffs before combat thing. Because most of the buffs in Baldur's Gate 3 had like 3 turns, 10 turns, 2 turns.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Like Bless, for instance. Glory be to the current of the motive force. Oh, hold on.
May it dulcet our light shine in our neophysic coronas. May it vitally nourish our augments. May it purity wash over our imperatives and engrams.
So what he's saying is he's a nerd. As far as I am aware, the monastery supplies power to several major high cities on Rykard. Hidden somewhere in the depths of this building is a reactor of monstrous, unfathomable power. Mercifully quick electric shock was... Okay, so we're about to get
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
We're about to get electrocuted is what what you're saying. Okay. Doing a quick save because I'm not doing all this all over again. Left or right?
We shall reclaim
Left.
what is rightfully ours.
Go this way. Let's open the door.
I'm not satisfied
Oh.
with that answer. I will repeat my question again. The last electro priest you killed, where did you find him?
Is that him?
Burn in the fire of dawn, servant of the god! And another one meets the limit of his utility. The last of them.
I like more cutscenes like this, though. A tall, dark-haired man sizes you up with a quick glance. A supernatural chill is making the air around him crackle softly. The expensive fabric on his jacket is stitched with gold threads and marked by several reddish-brown stains. A force sword with a vox hang from his belt, and the emblem of the Holy Inquisition glitters on his chest. Well, we already know who it is. Kneel and repent for your kneel and repent of your heresy before a rogue trader, filthy sorcerer, and I might spare your lives. Oh, he's talking to him. No, he's a sanctioned the Emperor protects.
And in this, we must be like him. My greetings to you, fellow servant of the Master of Mankind. I am Interrogator Heinrichs van Kalox of the Imperial Inquisition's esteemed Ordo Xenos. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Shadow. A great big sun-eclipsing, chain-weaving shadow. I can see the threads, myriads of them extending toward us all, and all of them creeping off toward him like snakes, shrouding us in poison. My, oh my, do I sense trouble, and it's right in my throat. It itches.
You want to say that weird shit right in front of a sanctioned psyker? You want to say that weird shit right at... Yo, you're 2 steps away from getting killed. I'm gonna be honest with you. Alright? You say that weird shit, this man works with the Inquisition. Talk that weird shit in front of him again. I dare you. I double dare you. A puff of black smokes out of the psyker's mouth and dissipates.
A psyker? Interesting. And a diviner at that. Even more interesting. Are you sanctioned?
Don't you Inquisition me! I'm under the Rogue Trader's protection!
To be fair, her predictions are correct. They are very correct. She's already, like, her predictions have already happened, so it's true. Adira is a member of my personal retinue and is under my protection.
Your retinue, you say? Then let's go back to my previous question. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Rogue Trader Captain Hardcore Mode von Valencius.
Von Valencius? To the best of my knowledge, that dynasty is headed by the esteemed Theodora von Valencius. Has there been a change of circumstances?
He watches your expression closely. Theodora is dead, slain in battle by enemies of humanity.
The news is lamentable. My condolences. And I presume the heir to the sacred warrant of trade and the lofty title of Rogue Trader is none other than yourself. Well then, what precisely has brought you to the sanctum of the Omnissiah?
Well, if he's gonna ask questions of me, I'm gonna ask questions of him. What did you do to him?
I convinced him to cooperate. I can influence living bodies, and I find that the interrogated are much more eager to share information once the blood starts to boil in their veins.
Interesting, I can use that. I am here to collect you. I am under orders from the Lord Inquisitor to offer any assistance you may require. After which, I am to provide you safe passage to football aboard my ship.
Then the timing of our meeting is fortuitous. I am requisitioning you and your retinue for my task.
Requisitioning?
Wait, what does that mean?
Young man, your choice of words is unseemly to the point of insult. You're addressing a rogue trader.
Timing of meeting is fortuitous. I'm requisitioning you and your retinue for my task. Oh, so he's basically like, yeah, I need you guys.
I don't imagine you'll be any happier if I say taking into inquisitorial custody.
To aid his faithful servant in the fight against corruption is the solemn duty of all whose actions affect millions of the Imperium's subjects. Let your example guide those who will carry the Emperor's light across 1,000 stars.
Yeah, listen to my girlfriend. Yeah, listen to my creepy girlfriend.
You're familiar with the works of Inquisitor Alistar the Redeemer. Not every acolyte can say the same, let alone people less initiated. Please forgive my lapse in manners, Lady Navigator Orselio. It is a great honor.
Okay. He's a gentleman.
I came to Rycad Minoris on a mission, which a rebellion prevented me from fulfilling. The governor is convinced that malcontents from among the rabble were the instigators, but I immediately suspected a more sinister presence at the root of the mutiny. My visit to the monastery and a few unhurried conversations with some of the rebels confirmed my suspicions.
Rykard Minoris on a mission which a rebellion prevented me from fulfilling. The governor is convinced that malcontents from among the rabble were the instigators, but I immediately suspected a more sinister presence. Yes, there is.
Someone by the name of Aurora is leading the rebellion.
Yes.
Data indicates that the head of the cultists is here right now, in the sanctum of the ancient reactor. Given the prophecy of the final dawn, and the especial efforts made by the enemies of humanity to seize the monastery, their goal is to gain access to the holy power source's control circuit and trigger a process that, once started, cannot be stopped. In other words, to detonate the reactor, thus being themselves the cause of their much-touted final dawn.
So they plan on blowing up this whole frickin' station. Damn, they got the balls on them.
Blasphemous insanity.
The Text Priest's visor flashes and turns a bloody scarlet. A soft hum of some activating systems is heard from under his robe. Precisely what are you doing at the monastery?
I arrived here with an escort squad, only to lose it in our very first open skirmish. The monastery is swarming with heretics. The soldiers I requisitioned from the governor fell in battle, bled to death, or deserted. I had to make do with catching and forcefully interrogating individual rebels. It is from them that I learned what I relayed to you just now.
Okay. I can help you with Aurora. Let's join forces.
Thank you. Regrettably, the governor's people showed themselves to be unprepared for the perils of this place.
Yes.
And extracting blade shards from a person's stomach is beyond my powers. I hope that a rogue trader's retinue will prove more capable than a group of soldiers fresh off the base. I am positive that not all of the electro-priests within these walls have perished. The heretics spoke of shadows emerging from side alleys to make short work of the cultists invading their abode. I surmise that the entrance to their hiding place is somewhere in the hall, near a machine known as the Circular Cogitator. I imagine it's one of the local sacred relics which the electro-priests treat with special piety.
Cogitator is not cogitator. Finally, I know. Finally, I know. How dare you take out my baby girl? How dare you take her out? We're taking her out. Unbelievable. The audacity. Okay, all three of us obviously are staying. Alright. Let's see our man. Dogmatic, much like me. He starts at level 4. He is mostly a weapon. Ooh, he focuses on melee, it looks like. His strength is up there. Toughness is a little there. Willpower is pretty high, actually. Perception's pretty normal. He's knowledgeable on Xenos. Okay. He's a warrior. Yep. Word of the Emperor. All allies in a circle with a 5-cell radius gain +1 resolve until the end of combat. Every additional stack of this effect increases the resolve bonus by +2. Really, really good. Iron Arm. The target gains +10 strength and toughness until the end of combat. Really, really good buffs right there. Really good buffs. What is he? Origin talents. He is the Word of the Emperor. He is a warrior, archetype, reputation, all low. Wait, what? I just saw it for a second. Talents, daring, breach. Base, he's on Xenos. He really... Biomancy focuses on manipulating living flesh and biological processes. Biomancers can heal wounds and alter physical characteristics. Interesting. Okay. Dogmatic, follower, humanity's finest strength. Okay, I see where he lies. RAM expertise, flagship post abilities. Oh, that's for later. Okay. Whenever the enemy attacks the warrior's next melee attack against the enemy deals an additional tough bonus damage. What's his toughness at? Tough bonus. For each bonus point of toughness characteristic gains plus 10% wounds. Not attack, but it can be reactivated after another attack made by either the same enemy or a different one. His agility's up there too. And the warrior has less than 50 wounds and rage. Yeah. He gains toughness and agility bonus. The parry one is good too. That'll be good for survivability. Weapon. His toughness needs to be up there. Just by 5% would be good. Sworn enemy. Reckless strike. Next melee attack gains 5+ strength bonus. Ignores the target's parry. Every enemy who survives the attack enhances by this ability will attack the warrior in return, including creatures with ranged weapon. Reckless strike seems good. His strength is up there. Per soul. This damage is increased by plus 50% against Xenos. Isn't that more his style? By 100% against Chaos Worshippers or Dakari. We're gonna fight Dakaris? Damn. We're definitely gonna fight demons. Screams to their enemies and draws their attention and becomes a priority target. The enemy who fails the wisdom. That taunting scream sounds dope. I've been looking for it. Yo, that taunting scream is... The AoE is huge. And it's only 1 AP. We need somebody who is literally tanking. Yeah, you could say, oh man, we're waiting for the Space Marine to be in the party. But you can't just rely on the Space Marine. We're gonna go with this ability, but I want that taunting scream. And at least Purge Soul. I'm gonna taunting scream, Purge Soul. Yeah. Pushes the enemy away. The distance of that push is equal to... I do like forceful push. That thing is pretty dope. Shield of the Emperor? Wait. You got abilities that are related to the... Until the start of the Psyker's next turn, all allies affected by the word of the Emperor... Dude, he literally has this ability. You mean you didn't put a check mark on that saying, yeah, this is a good ability? In the combat, all targets within the area suffer a psi rating penalty to strength and agility. Not a bad, yeah. Shield of the Emperor. Can only be used while there is at least one ally affected by Word of the Emperor. So you have to pop the Word of the Emperor and then the Shield of the Emperor. Okay. There's also Hammer of the Emperor. So, Sanctic Powers, you need Psi Rating 2 and Purge Soul or Shield of the Emperor. I want Purge Soul. And Psi Rating. I don't know how to increase the Psi Rating. Maybe that comes later. I will focus on one check mark, but that's it. Athletics. Athletics. Here's the next one. Let's focus on weapon skill. His ballistic ability, I'm not gonna make him focus on. He's gonna be. He will have a ranged attack, but that's not his thing. They can attack with the second weapon in their current weapon set in addition to the usual one attack per round. This attack suffers a negative 20 penalty to weapon skill and ballistic skill and cost plus 1 AP more. Wait, why would I get this? So you attack with the first ability, let's say it's 1 AP or 2 AP. The character can attack with the second weapon, their current weapon set in addition to the usual one attack. This attack suffers a negative 20 penalty. Cost plus 1 AP more. Bit of a dick move. Characters gains plus 5 weapon skill. The character may improve any trained characteristic even if their archetype or origin does not allow it. Let's go with toughness. There we go. Damage deflection, that's good. Warrior deals an additional contempt. Deals additional damage. That's good. Daring Breach. Warrior immediately restores all AP and MP and gains an agility bonus MP until the end of their turn. Grants plus 10 movement points until the end of the turn. The warrior does not provoke attacks of opportunity. So basically he can run up and hit people. Okay. That's boring. Until the end of the combat, the warrior gains a plus 4 MP of each kill and may use their MP after attacking or using abilities. Yeah, but the AP, so that ability sounds good, so you can run up, kill a person, run up, kill a person, run up, kill a person. But what about the AP? This turn, melee attacks deal an additional damage. For 1 round, the warrior becomes the priority target for every enemy hit by their melee attacks. Also, the warrior gains plus parry. So basically, this is the tank sort of thing. I'll be honest, that sounds dope. If I'm gonna make him a tank, his toughness is pretty low. Let's see where this goes. I want to see where this goes. Because we can always change it whenever we want. That's the beauty of this game. One of the warriors attacked, they gain a stack of slaughter until the end of turn. At the start of their turn, the warrior gains a plus 1 temporary wounds. For each stack. These temporary wounds cannot exceed the warrior's tough bonus. Let's go for thick skin. And weapon skill. Boom. Let's see where this goes. All right.
We are bound by the blood.